remembering the legacy. He was the creator and host of this show for nearly 30 years. This is Harry Canterbury's Adventure Sports Outdoors.
There I was, back in the wild again, and I felt right at home where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again, just like it happened so many times before. Yeah.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. The Peoria Sportsman's Club, delicious dinners every Tuesday from 5:30 till 7:30 and Friday from 6 till 8 on beautiful Spring Lake in Manitou, Illinois. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. Our thanks to all of these sponsors. We paid a visit to Pat Sullivan, Mr. Fish, who is meeting with Mike Gilmore from Congressman LaHood's office, and our good friend Tony Hay, who is in possession of a very interesting item from World War II.
Tony here works for me in the buildings, and we do all kinds of remodel and things. And he told me about when the B-24s were in England, one had problems and crashed in the hills of northern England. Tony's from England, by the way. Tony Hay, yeah, and this is Mike Gilmore with Congressman LaHood's office. So this plane crashed in 1945, February 19th. We got talking about it, said that his friend had heard this plane crash. How about you take the story over from that?
Well, they were Boy Scouts.
Yeah, okay.
And they were only young. They were just, well, I think he was 16.
Okay.
And they used them as basically stretcher bearers. They took them up there and helped carry the survivors down. And Arthur was one of the stretcher guys.
They were using parachutes for stretchers.
Yeah, I think you told me. Yeah, and when they got there, some of the guys were dead outside the plane, and there were a few survivors, which they died later.
Yeah,
and Frank being one of them. Anyway, he helped to carry the guy down, and he was on the stretcher, and he had his pilot's hat on his chest. And it kept falling off. So my friend Arthur kept picking it up, and in the end, he stuck it in his shirt.
No.
They got the guys down. The Americans came with their ambulances. They took the guys away, and Arthur still had the hat in his shirt. Anyway, what he said was that the guy died, and then was buried in Cambridge, American Cemetery in Cambridge. And Arthur kept the hat, and his mother, because she lost people in the war, she wouldn't have any war memorabilia or anything in the house. So she said, "You're not having the hat." He took the cap badge off, which we have now. And we asked him what happened to the hat anyway, and he said, well, eventually I think it was his brother or somebody, wore it down. They were all coal miners. It's a big coal mining area where we're from. And his brother used the hat to work, keep work for work anyway. But the medal, the cap badge is here. And he's had it all these years.
How long did it take to get from the crash to the road to get him to a hospital? Because he didn't think he was out until he was
5 hours.
Just 5 hours to carry him down.
Wow.
And so basically he got him to the hospital there, And the gentleman we're talking about is Frank E. Bock. I actually went to school with Bock, Rob Bock, yeah, and spelled the same way, and that caught my eye again. But this gentleman was from Ohio, and from what we know,
Yeah.
so we're going back in history here to before World War II, basically, because Mike here in the office at Congressman LaHood's been digging into it. I'll let him get into that. But the guy went back up. Arthur went back up to help with others, and actually the other forgot he had the hat. And then when he got back down, he went to take the hat back, and the guy was gone. He had passed, so they didn't leave him in the hospital. They put him into the room that when they pass away. So it's been working, according to Tony, and Arthur Hayward is his name. Who's the guy that helped these Americans. He was a hero trying to get him down to the hospital. He's a very big hero.
Yeah.
And at 16 years old, they didn't even know it. And Arthur just passed away a year ago.
Yeah.
And he was 90-something.
90-something.
He would never tell his age. and he just passed away.
And he gave me, because I live in America, he said, maybe you can find out. So what we're trying to do is just find
the family.
Any relative that we can get this.
Yeah.
I show them?
Yeah, show them now. Tony here dug in to try to find this family. We have paper. And Mike in his office has been looking.
I'm Mike Gilmore. I'm the military advisor for Congressman LaHood here in the Peoria District Office. And Pat had reached out to me and gave me some background on what was going on just a few weeks back, and told me Tony here had some information and this memorabilia from World War II from this war hero, Frank Edward Bock, and it immediately obviously caught our attention as well, and we wanted to get involved and see what we could do to try to track down the Bock family, which we think and we hope are from Ohio and still in Ohio. One thing that my district director and I had found out that was going through some of the archives and ancestry information was that there were two Frank E. Bocks that records somehow intermixed, and there's a Frank Edward Bock who we're looking for, that family. Then there's a Frank Ernest Bock, and some of those records we had found were, like I said, they were mixed together. So one has the correct information, which would be Frank Edward Bock, but the birth date, everything was correct but the birth date, saying that he was born 30 September 1920. And then the Frank Ernest Bock. So this is our Frank, correct? Born in 1921?
I would think that's pretty close.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the incorrect part here is the death. Clearly he was killed in World War II.
Yeah.
So this is where things get a little mixed up here. So we want to make sure that...
Wait a minute. Can we see that?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, because the November 6th, 2008. So that is completely wrong.
Incorrect, right.
Yeah. That would throw me off if I was looking at it. So that would
Right.
throw me, I would disregard this.
And then they had him as a PFC,
Yeah.
and he was a first lieutenant, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So some of the information we found through the archives or the ancestry online information was we've got the correct date of death, February 21, 1945, age 24. I believe that's correct. Burial, Cambridge American Cemetery Memorial in Cambridgeshire, England. And then they've got the memorial ID correct. They've got the rank correct. And then the 854th Bomb Squad 491 or 491st. I believe that's correct.
That's what we have.
So we're trying to make sure that again, both families are from Ohio. Incidentally. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we want to make sure we find the correct Bock family and get this memorabilia to the people that are actually related to him.
Right.
And then he gave this to you
and
last year or
before he died. He said, why don't you keep it, see if you can get anywhere with it. And I said, sure, you want me to, I will. Well, keep it safe. Is there anything to say he was married? Or
I think the only thing that we could find were a list of siblings. So he was, so there was a Frank Bock, who was his father, born in 1898, died in 1977. Edna Caroline Drogmiller Scherer Bock, born in 1903, died the year after his father, 1978. And then siblings, this is incorrect here. See, it says Frank E. Bock, 1921 to 2008. So
well, that's what threw me on a couple of things I read in here.
Right. And then, but Eunice Harrington, Bock Harrington, and then there's a Nora Bock, a Myron Bock.
That'd be siblings.
Yep, siblings of Frank, and then Alice Bock. Now,
wait a minute, he died at 45, okay.
Right. So Alice has passed away in 2007. Myron passed away in 2002. Apparently Nora was only 4 years old. She died in 1930. And then Eunice died in 89. So it appears that all the siblings have passed away. So what we need to do is we need to find out if any of these siblings had children, and maybe they've got grandchildren. And that's kind of where we're starting, is reaching out to some of these folks. Yeah. It's unfortunate that all the siblings have passed away, but like I said, the most recent was 2007. Or, I'm sorry, 2008.
And it doesn't say what city?
Not where they passed away.
Because when Mice does a lot of times, looks up relatives of mine through the graveyard.
Right. Yeah.
Through the obituary.
Well, see, so that was my thought, was if we could reach out, considering this is an American cemetery, we could possibly reach out and request a government affairs or government relations liaison to maybe do some digging for us through the Cambridge Cemetery and see maybe they've got files on the family just based on the fact that he's buried there. I don't know. We haven't got to that yet, but that was one of my first thoughts, was let's at least reach out to the cemetery. And then also, like, this is just something that kind of throws me off, that this is what Catherine found. So we just want to make sure that we're not confusing these two.
Frank Ernest or Frank?
There's Frank Ernest Bock and there's Frank Edward Bock. We're looking for the Frank Edward Bock, but in some of these records, their information has crisscrossed. But again, see, Toledo, Ohio, where this guy was born.
Wow.
And then Lorain, Ohio, is where Frank Edward Bock was born. So that's where we want to make sure we're not contacting the wrong family. So we'll try through the congressional side to try to, request a full service record and or medical record, because they maintain both as long as it was during the service. If we can get those, that might give us a little bit of a benefit in moving forward and finding,
we can at least divide the two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be able, out of that, we should be able to find.
And with the service number, middle name, the date of birth, that's where we're going to get the correct information. As long as they weren't mixed up.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be the first step. And then after that, we'll start working our way towards the family in Ohio and see if we can find out where this goes.
Like I told you before, if we could get that far, we're thinking about taking a bus trip. So
yeah, that'd be incredible. I couldn't even imagine how grateful they would be to see this.
Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Tony and I will get with you.
Hopefully the next time we all meet, we'll
have some more.
We'll have more information and answers. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then if there's anything you want us to do, let us know.
I may have to pick your brain a little bit more, but we can do that offline.
This will be a story continued on Adventure Sports Outdoors. So please, bear with us. We're going to go and get this done. It's our duty. And hopefully we can have a good return.
Hi, I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week. With ammo prices getting higher and higher almost on a daily basis, you might want to consider reloading, especially rifle and pistol shells. It doesn't take that much of an investment and that much equipment to get started. You need a reloading press, you need a powder scale, a powder measure, and dies. A nice accessory to have is a case tumbler. Of course, you need media for the tumbler. It's not a necessity that you have to have something like this, but it just cleans your brass and you get a good looking cartridge when you're done. Now, if you want to save some money, you can buy all of this equipment in a kit, and it's everything you need to start reloading except a set of dies. Once you have your basic equipment, you can change calibers for between $30 and $40 by buying a set of dies for each particular caliber. Once you have your equipment, you need your components. Primers, you can buy by the thousand. Powder comes in single pound lots or in kegs. You need bullets of some type. Lead bullets like this are a real cost savings. When you shoot lead, like out of a 45 long Colt, for example, factory ammunition is $30 to $40. You can load a box of shells for $10. If you want to load rifle ammunition, you can buy bullets by the hundred, and you'll load for about half of what they sell for new. And of course, you need brass. I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week.
We caught up with our good friend Chuck Gabbard in downtown Peoria for some artistic family fun at Big Picture Street Festival 2023.
Woo! Here I am. This is Chuck Gabbard from Gabbard Construction here at CT Gabbard Remodeling and Construction with my favorite artist, Megan Trolio. Megan, say hi to him.
Hi, y'all.
See this behind me? Look at this mural. Beautiful. She started this today at 9 a.m. Believe it or not, it's 2:30 and she's about got a kick. The reason we're out here and the reason she's doing it is because we're here for Big Picture. Big Picture USA. What is Big Picture? It's art, it's fun, and that's why we're here. We'll make a little money, not much, but for kids, and we'll give that all to kids art, for people to teach kids art. Kids that may not be able to afford to do it, but there's kids on the street here doing it for free. Everything's free here. You show up, you do art. You grab some chalk, you do art. You grab some paint, you do art. Play the piano, music, dance. We dance up and down the street. Look, I dance up and down the street. I'm not a good dancer. I'm kind of 3 steps behind, but it's an awesome day. So that's really all it is. It's fun, it's excitement, and it's all for free, and you just come and have a good time. We've done this a couple other times. Oh, right now, they're gonna do a paint fling on an old truck. They got an old truck over there and they're gonna squirt paint all over it. That's a lot of fun too. It comes out pretty cool. So, but think about us next year when you start hearing Big Picture, now you know what it is. All right, here we are at Big Picture at the CT Gabbard Remodeling Construction parking lot with our favorite artist, Megan Trolio. She's painting our garage door. Check it out.
Hi.
Megan, so tell us about it. How do you do it? What do you do? And why do you do it?
How, why, what, how our brains are projectors. So we can create things and then look at stuff and then paint stuff. I don't know, I've just always appreciated painting. So that's how I do it. It's just years of practice.
How do you come up with design? Because I know when we had this, you showed 3 or 4, or I don't know, several different ones.
It totally depends, because each spot, each person might want something different. So the ones on the back of the building are more my style and fun. But for this one, I really, we talked about the yellow for CT Gabbard and really making sure that shines. So just trying to just come up with different ideas about what stuff would like. And the quote that y'all got, the tell us about your dream, that was like right from your website. So it just made sense to put it
I love it. I love it. And Kenny, I don't know if you got on the back, Meyer Alley back here, all of our back garage doors, she painted all those. All those murals on it. Yeah, that's fun. And that's the thing, Kenny, that's why we do the Big Picture, because it's fun art. You don't have to be perfect. Anybody can do it. We've got kids out here. I don't know, they got a kid zone. You saw that, I'm sure. All the things that are in the kids zone. Some of the kids were doing some of these murals out here, the chalk drawings. I don't know, I think there's 35 of those. We're giving $500 first prize. So it's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty cool thing to do. And we got a lot of different things, different people. We got things for the kids where they've got a basketball pop-a-shot. We've got, hey, jump in, sit in our stock car, real stock car. Try to get in that thing. You might get in it.
I say yeah.
Yeah, you're about the right size. You got to be pretty narrow to get in that thing. Music and dancing all day, food, entertainment, fun. They had an iron pour back here. They were racing drones. If you missed it, too bad for you today.
Come back next
Yeah,
year.
we'll have it next year, and it'll be bigger and better. But what a beautiful day.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily.
The Peoria Sportsman's Club. Delicious dinners every Tuesday from 5:30 till 7:30 and Friday from 6 till 8 on beautiful Spring Lake in Manitou, Illinois. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.